Hello guys!
Hello.
Hi and welcome back to Danny's Academic Corner. So I've been gone for a minute, but I'm back and I promise I won't leave you for too long next time. And as you can see, something is a bit different today. I wonder what it is. I'm here with someone. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi guys! Firstly, thank you so much for having me on your channel. It's an honor to be on Danny's channel. I'm Gloria, I'm Denise's friend, and I'm here to have a good time with her today and just talk about school and the struggles of being like an international student, and yeah.
Exactly. So as Gloria said, we are going to talk about that today. That's the purpose of this video, because the people who follow my channel or people that I interact with personally, not everyone is from South Africa where we live. Some people, came to SA to study at higher education institutions, and sometimes when we leave university and we move on to work, we forget to talk about these experiences. So there are students who are coming into the system from foreign countries, and they have no idea how to navigate it, and they're lost. And I feel like with the knowledge and experiences that we gained, it's good to pass it on so people will feel a bit more comfortable
to talk
about it and navigate the system better.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna interview Gloria. She's gonna be very relaxed, laid back.
We even have our juice here.
We should have put some champagne, mimosa vibes.
Yeah, we're trying to keep it like sober.
Yeah, it's a Sunday, so keeping it sober. So Glo, let's get into it. I think first of all, tell me a bit about yourself. Where you're coming from and your experiences of living in South Africa.
Thank you so much. Well, I'm from East Africa. Came here when I was 2 years old, and I grew up in South Africa in Durban area, and my parents are also we relocated here when we were younger. Just speaking about the challenges and also navigating South Africa, learning new cultures, trying to fit in. It's been challenging, but also it's been uplifting when you get to navigate things, you get to understand things. And I studied at KZN University, and I majored more in finance, economics, and also decided to do two more honors degrees in postgrad and investment banking, and then also
where the money is.
Where the country is, that's where we need to be, and also decided to move more into financial planning. And currently I'm an account manager, just assisting SMEs to get funding, and I'm really enjoying it.
Okay, that's great. Thanks, Glo. As you can see, this woman, I'm not friends with just anyone. She's a go-getter, she's goal-oriented, she knows what she wants, and that's what I love about you. Thanks for actually making time to be here. So I'm sure I've given some context. I'm also a foreign student, by the way. Well, was a foreign student. I'm from Sierra Leone. And also, as you were sharing your experiences, I think it's something that I can resonate with, being from Sierra Leone and coming here, and it's a new space, new people. And even though, we're black, but still, African people are not a monolith, right? And we have different cultures, and you have to take the time to learn the culture. And then when you get into university, that's also another subculture within a main culture. So actually, let's get into that. So first of all, why did you choose the university that you chose to study at?
Okay, so I needed a university that was firstly close to where I was raised up, because as an international student, we had financial difficulties, because before picking different universities, you have to firstly figure out if you can afford the school fees, because when it comes to international students, it's different from the locals that are from here. So you have to ensure that you have your rent fees sorted out if you're going to go into a different province, and you also have to think about the levies, and also about the food you're gonna eat, so you're gonna stay at res, the books. So all of that had to be taken into consideration before going to another province. So I really kind of enjoyed the university I went to, but it was more of picking it from a financial standpoint than rather thinking about if it's the best university. But it did offer the subjects that I needed to do the courses, and yeah, like yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. Okay. So basically a rational based decision.
Yes.
But also like it did provide your needs.
Yeah, it did provide needs.
Okay.
So I did do some research about the different points that were required to go in the course. So with different like university that side, there were higher points that were required, and also there were not much bursaries for international students. So going to different universities that would be like probably 100k rands a year compared to one that was like probably 40k. We had to take that in consideration and try to see, because when you go to the international office, you pay 100% of your fees up front. It's not like where the locals get like probably 20%, 10% discount, and then they have a debt payment plan. Finance was like a big aspect on the reason why I picked a certain university.
Yeah. And also we don't get NSFAS.
NSFAS
like that.
It's not for international students.
It's hard.
Out in the streets.
Yeah. And then so once you had that all like figured out in terms of okay, you're gonna study here and these are the courses that you're going to do. What was the process like registering at the university? You know, when you when you were about to enroll and start your degree.
Yo, let me have a moment.
Take that moment.
But for everyone who's trying to study, you just have to, you see, university will humble you. It's not a place for emotional people. You know, like the fees department. Like if you don't have your in order, fine, it's a lot. So the registration process. Firstly, you had to have what is this? Your registration fee straight up. If you don't have it, you won't get registered. There was what was the fee first when you first applied matric?
For the application fee.
Yes.
Yeah.
You just had to have that sorted. Then afterwards, when you get accepted, you need to have your registration fees. Then let's say the fees are 60,000. You had to pay your res fees 100% upfront. Whether you're staying at res, whether, for example, if you were moving internationally or going on holiday, you would have to pay all your fees upfront before anything else. Even your modules and your books, all of that, you needed to have that upfront. So it was a hassle. At first, my parents, I thank God for my parents, because your international parents actually doing the most. Like, firstly, it's my parents that inspired me. Those people are like hard workers. Like
a moment for mom and dad.
Say thank you, thank you so much. Because trying to understand like how our parents came here without knowing like English, and they only knew one language, and were able to go to university to start like a whole new degree. Like just imagine computer science or what, engineering, not knowing like you reading the paper for the first time and you learning English also, and being able to graduate and get that degree.
Yeah, you have to translate it first to English. Never mind understanding the subject or the content.
You know, and then eventually finishing that off and getting the degree. Like those are like motivating things that helped me. Like even during the struggles of like registering and fees and everything, seeing that and just I don't know. It kind of like made me feel like grateful in the process, so that not to just like, I don't know, okay, I lost it there.
No, it's okay. And then, okay, can you elaborate in terms of, there's the fees aspect, but then also, as an international student, the university wants you to have your paperwork in order, visas, permits, passports. So most universities, they have like an international office. So what was your experience dealing with them?
It was a lot, because I don't know if just not to put them down, like a lot of them didn't understand things of the permit, the work visas, all of that. But the international students, you'd go there, then they'd send you to another department, you'd go to that one, they'd tell you have to first get cleared at the international office, then you'd go from the international office trying to get to your module sorted, but there will still be a hold, you know. So it was kind of hard, but being an international student at the local universities, you had to know like everything beforehand. So you needed to go and ask around, make sure that if you have your certified copy of your permit or your ID, your work visa, your study visa is up to date. You had to pay your medical fees. Straight
medical aid.
Yes, you had, even if you don't use it at all, you had to pay for like a year in advance. All of that needed to be sorted beforehand. So it was a lot, but God's grace, we made it. Yeah.
Girl.
What about you? Like,
true. No. Like a lot of the things I, relate with because, there was no information provided. So you have to like find out these things as you're trying to register and get into the system. You're like, oh, I didn't know this. You're like, and then you're like, where's this office? Now imagine, right? You're in first year, and then also the other first years, even though they're South Africans, but they also have their own issues to figure out. Mainly fees and registering for the modules or finding out like which courses they want to take. So being a student, aside from being an international student, it's already stressful as it is trying to navigate a new space. Now, that's added on top of all the extra bureaucracy and admin that comes with being an international student. So you don't know where the buildings are, you don't know who so-and-so is. They're like, oh, go to this office.
And you're like, where is it?
They're like, oh no,
everybody's stressed, especially during registration time. Everybody is stressed.
Yeah.
They're trying to figure out one module.
It's a jungle.
It's a jungle. Everybody's like, you say hi, so it's like, please. Like,
and the queues.
They say come back tomorrow, and registration dates are closing. Okay, they're closing. Yeah. Like, come back tomorrow. You go to this person, they're not informed. They're like, oh, I'm just tried that department. It's lunchtime. Bam.
No. You know what would frustrate me? So you'll see, in the Bible, the feeding of the 5,000 type of thing. So you'll see all these people, and usually registration in South Africa is summertime. So we're in this big hall, there's the heat, people are frustrated, hungry. Then there'll be like four or five staff members
helping 5,000 people.
Yeah, pretty much. And then you're like, where is Jesus when you need him? Like, can you make the staff member turn into like 10,000? Because so then you just know when you go to sort out whatever you need to sort out on that day, prepare to spend the whole day there.
Be humble. Have your food ready. Make sure you don't get touched, you don't get emotional, because it's for the strong.
Did you get emotional? Were there times where you felt the pressure?
Like, for real, like, because the first year, my parents saved up for university, so that was good. We had the money sorted. Now you have to think about the next year, because my course was 4 years, so you need to make sure you have your res money, your fees money, everything ready beforehand. Now just imagine we are a family of 3. My parents are still navigating the working, trying to pay rent, pay food, like so many expenses, and then having to cough up like what, 60K at the end of the year. In January to pay off your fees. So like now I had to take a responsibility for myself and try to see if I could apply for bursaries. So like working hard, making sure that you pass. There was this thing at where if you pass your modules, you wouldn't pay for it, right? And then also there was this thing where you could also then they started noticing the struggles of international students, where they started offering bursaries for international students, because NASFO's only covered for locals. Yes. So from there, so going to the international office, you had to kind of be ready. Like I would tell myself, this time I'm not gonna cry, because you go there and the first thing they'll tell you, do you have 100% of your fees ready? And you'd be like, no. Then they'll tell you, please stand on the side, and you're like, but I have 40%. It's like, no, darling. 100%. International students, it's 100%. And you try to negotiate and say, you're giving other people, a payment plan. Is it okay if you could also, you can see that I've raised up at least 60% of the funds. Is it okay if I can try to pay the other 13% over a period of time? They would be like, no. And just imagine, registration opens like around Feb. And then in March, it closes around end of March or April.
Yeah, towards the end of March.
Yes.
You know, there's a deadline.
There's a deadline.
There's no grace period. It's like, sorry,
it's like
come next semester.
You know, and obviously during the registration period, modules have started, like classes have started, lectures have started. Now you have to try, because now your card, you can't access the library, you have to ask your friends to let you in. Now people have already have their Moodle, they have their lectures, they've already have their textbooks. They've already started class.
So you're feeling behind.
You're feeling behind the pressure of like, will I study this year? Will I be able to study this year? Now they're talking about test 1 is in like 3 weeks and you haven't been registered. Test 1.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've had those emotions where I break down and stuff, but as time went, like we tried to find, like there was SRC that were really helpful on campus where you could go with your concerns and tell them that, okay, this is how much I have as okay, if you could go to like maybe the finance manager and give them like a payment plan, they could be able to help you. And there were some helpful people, students that really understood your struggle and were willing to help. So luckily, by God's grace, they started to become more lenient and allowing you, not saying 100%. They started to say, okay, bring 60, and then we'll deduct a certain amount from your bank account as time goes. But yeah, but I've cried like this. I've cried, Shane. Yo.
Yeah, girl. Yeah. No, because you know what? I always thought I'm a strong person. Like it's really hard for me to show my emotions. But let me tell you, it takes that process to really bring you to your knees and just say, I give up.
You give up.
You know, especially, I think for me it's just the up and down.
The up and down.
So at one point you just have a moment of weakness and you're just like,
you break down.
Why? Like why? Is it because I'm a foreigner? Like, you know,
you start feeling inferior.
You feel inferior and you're just like, but, and then the thing with us, because we've been living in SA for some time.
Yeah.
So you get this like moment of being shocked because you in high school you kind of are part of the system. You fit in. So you're not often reminded that you're an outsider.
Yeah.
But when you try to register, then it's a stark reminder like, oh, I don't belong. You know, and it's like, so they actually want me to know that I have to go that extra mile to get into the system.
In order to get a degree.
But with that said though, you know, there are, you know, local students, even staff members that came on board and supported you. And also just having my friends who are South Africans who are also going through their own things. It's like, you know what, we're all in this together. We all facing roadblocks in one way or the other. For me, it's being an international student. For you, it could be maybe not having enough points. Because that's also another issue. You know, you want to study a certain degree and they say, no, you didn't have enough points. So you also have to be empathetic to other people.
Everybody's going through a struggle. It wasn't only us. You could see that even a lot of locals, they had their time where they're trying to get it like probably into nursing, but let's say 2 points short, and it would kill them. So they'd have to go through another degree. The beautiful thing is that they would allow you to do a different degree. If you're in the system, you work really hard and try to appeal to go into a system.
Once you transition. So, you know, I think with that said, we built that resilience, and you know, over time we're like, okay, I know what to expect, so I just gotta come, you know, emotionally strong to deal with this, you know.
And the trials make you stronger, hey? When without those challenges, we wouldn't know, like when life hits you, like, oh, I remember like where I had to fight so hard to get registered. When you go through life, you end up being grateful for those moments, hey? As much as they were so like, at that moment it was like a lot, but you end up being grateful, and also when you build awareness of all these things that are happening to locals or international students, it kind of helps the ones that are coming after us to know how to be prepared. And because now from 100% to it being 60%, that's a big jump, and it at least allows more people to be able to study and afford varsity now.
And you know the other beauty of, you know, going through what we went through, when you're studying, you know what it took to get in, so that actually motivates you to say, I can't, you know, waste my weekend.
Yes, yeah.
Waste my weekend partying. Okay, of course I'll socialize here and there, but there's an assignment coming up. Let me get to it.
Put in effort.
Yeah, you put in that effort.
And you couldn't afford to fail, actually.
You literally cannot.
You can't afford to fail, so you knew what you were there for. Like, for example, if you fail, that means another module. That's more money. Already it's telling you 100%. Now add your 100% with the module you failed last year and adding another year. Your parents were like, I'm not here for it. It's like pass or forget it. Just forget it.
Forget it.
Just forget it. Yeah.
Hey, anyways, with that said though, what are like the positives, you know, of being a foreign student?
Yeah, I think
there are any.
I think it's.
Wait, maybe I could think for myself while you're thinking. I think I won't lie, you know. Being a young girl and you want attention, right? You know, you meet people and then they're like, where are you from? And then you're like, I'm from Sierra Leone. Oh wow, that's so cool. So in a way you build like relationships or like social capital because of being different. People are curious, like, you know, this is something new. I want to find out more where you're from, like what's your culture, you know, you get these like cultural exchanges.
People are interested, like they want to know what type of food you eat, the languages you speak. So it's more interesting because you get to socialize with other people and also learn from different places. And it also makes you miss home kind of thing, because we came here when we were younger. So it's nice because we get to learn the different cultures of the locals. We get to eat their different food, like the jekwe, what's the thing that they eat with mas and everything? Papa and mas. Yeah, and also to teach them the different types of food we eat, which is like sombe and all those things. Even teach the different languages. So I think those are the benefits, because you get to meet more people, make friends more, and it's just
it wasn't all doom and gloom in all honesty.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah. Okay, and then what do you think, you know, were like the most important lessons that you took out of your experience of being an international student? And like from those lessons, what would you like to share, you know, to, you know, a student or potential student who wants to study at a South African university in the near future? What do you have to say?
Okay, so firstly, I'd suggest that for students who want to, you have to make sure you do your research. Firstly, of the different course that you want to do, make sure you have all your documents like in place. Like if they need a study visa, you have to make sure you also think about the bursaries that are available. Do a lot of research and see, okay, so if this is a specific course that I want to do, maybe medicine or maybe engineering, are there any like international funders that fund this specific course? And also prepare beforehand and not try to leave everything for last minute, because you end up having like panic when they say, oh, you need to have a medical aid, then you rush through trying to find that sorted. All that says, be prepared, make sure you're mentally strong, pray a lot. And like it's not doom and gloom. Like there's so many great things, like make friends, like make connections, like be willing to interact with other people, because there's so much you can learn and share.
There are actually lots of clubs as well with foreign students,
international students that you can join, where you meet together and at least they speak about the challenges that people might have and how to navigate through that. And looking for different places you're going to stay, like maybe if you want to stay close with other students so you can save on costs. Think about getting side jobs to like help with like food and like studies, buying books and modules, calculators, all of that. And like from there you gain so much knowledge and
and also I think I want to add, like if English is not your first language or you didn't learn it officially in school, there are support systems where, especially the university we went to, there's something called the writing place. So you have like academic stuff and you don't have to pay for these resources.
Yeah, they're actually free.
They can help you with your assignments, your essays, and ask other students, even your lecturers, like, I have some challenges in terms of articulating myself, but I really know what I'm doing. It's just maybe the language is a barrier. So you know, people do have the patience. You just have to kind of approach
it, and work on your weaknesses. So if that was a weakness, you need to learn how to write, because you'll get courses where there's a lot of like words that you won't understand, and it's good to work on that beforehand so that it's not like something that hinders you like passing your modules and everything. And if you fail, it's not the end of the day. Like, it's not the end of your life. You can have, there's such things as subs where you can like try to rewrite, and also special exams. All of those are offered in university. So yeah, that's something.
Yeah, and then what would you say to universities to like make the system better? You know?
Yeah. So
or what if you had to go back to school again? Like, what kind of systems would you like to see in place to improve it for international students?
I really love, like, in my opinion, for like maybe the international student department to just learn more of the different types of visas that students can apply for, and just to simplify the process for them. Like, for example, saying this is, maybe have a printout of if you need this type of documents, you need to follow this thing, you know, like, I mean, this department is where you get your photocopies done, this is where you get to apply for your medical aid, give them options for that. I know they are, but it's like trying to simplify the process, not having this department that side, and having like stuff in place to like maybe, I think they do have the international students where they assist students with that. Yeah, but just to simplify the process, and it's good because they've been learning over time, because it's like saying how when we first started it was 100%, now they do have a payment plan for international students, and also now you don't have to apply for your medical aid for 1 year, because in advance they now have like a 6 months where you do per semester also. And putting more information out there on social media, every way to just keeping them also informed. And yeah, that's what I would say. What about you?
I think pretty much what you said. I think also just maybe one thing I want to emphasize, having international students who have had a few years of experience in the university, you could have like a buddy system. So when the new students are coming in, like, hey, let me pay you with so and so, so at least you don't have to keep on going back to the office. You have your buddy, you can communicate via social media, they can show you around, and then eventually you'll get the hang of things. I think just having those support systems in place, having the staff know what they're doing, familiarizing themselves with the documents, you know. And then also I think understanding the intersectionality of international students. We're not a monolith. There are people who have lived in South Africa for a long time. It's going to be easier for them. There are people who are coming from francophone countries. There are people with disability and other, you know, issues. People who are refugees. So be sensitized to some of the context of where people are coming from. You know, I think of course it's a work in progress, and institutions are not going to be perfect, but just to be aware of these things.
Yeah, it's like a learning process. Where they get to they hear the students' needs, and every time they come to let them know, okay, these are our struggles, they must put them into place and try to make like the process much easier.
At the end of the day, like, research is ongoing. You know, there are actually scholars who are dedicated into looking into the process of internationalization and facilitating it, you know, and policies. Well, I think, you know, do you have anything else to add, Glo?
I'd say live your best life. You know, make sure you do a lot of research, go towards things that you're passionate about. There might be challenges in the way where, for example, you feel like you don't have the right points to enter a certain like module. I give you an example where you can go into another course just to get into the university and then bridge off into something that you want to do. Make sure you do your research, have everything in place, and when you have those challenges, remember to just stay positive and seek for advice, seek for help, and you'll be able to navigate through it and complete your degree and be happy.
Exactly. All about positivity here and pushing to get ahead. Wasn't she such a joy to have me? Yeah. Oh my God. I think that was such an enriching conversation, and hopefully we can have her for more conversations on Danny's Academic Corner. This is not the end. She's a multifaceted woman, so I'm sure there's, you know, other perspectives that you can share. But Thank you guys so much for watching, and please, you know what to do.
Subscribe, you know, like the video, share, you know, keep the channel growing.
I mean, I don't have to say anything else. She said it all. But thank you, and bye.